Have you just got the idea of slope down and now your teacher is throwing the idea of horizontal and vertical lines and asking you what their slopes are? That's okay. We are going to simplify all of that for you and make sure that you aren't one of those students making any kind of silly mistakes due to the confusion that comes up with these two types of lines. If you're new here, my name is Danielle and I'm a high school math teacher for over 18 years. And on this channel, I share my best strategies on how to learn math and math videos so you can get help here with me at any point. So if you're a math student, be sure to subscribe below so you can stay up to date with any videos that I put out there. So before we dive in, be sure to download and print the handout I provided you so you could follow along, make notes, and refer back to it at any time. The link is down in the description. Okay, so we are going to start with slopes of special lines. Let's first tackle horizontal lines. Step number 1 is to pick 2 points on our line. So I'm going to pick -9 and 4, and it doesn't really matter here, but let's go with -5. Whoops, that's supposed to be -5 and 4. So like I said, the 2 points are -9 and 4 and -5 and 4. Let's call this x1, y1, and x2, y2. And if you watched my last video, it explained why it doesn't matter which way we order these as long as this is x1, y1, and this is x2, y2. So the 1 stay together and the 2 stay together. Okay, the infamous equation for slope is y2, and being the good students, math students we are going to copy it down no matter what, even if we know it. We are not skipping any steps here. x2 minus x1. We get, what is our y2 again? 4. Subtract y1, which is 4, divided by x2. Where are you, x2? -5 minus x1, -9. I'm going to put that in brackets. And I'm going to scooch up here and hit equals. So 4 take away 4 is 0. And -5 take away -9 is really -5 plus 9. So we're going to get 4. And 0 divided by 4 is just 0. So we are calculating a slope of 0. Well, let's try with another 2 points. Okay, well, let's see. What if I did 2 and 4 and then 6 and 4? So let's write this out. 2 and 4 and then 6 and 4. Again, slope M is equal to y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. So if I plug in, let's make this our x1, y1 and our x2, y2. I'm going to get 4 take away 4. Hey, that looks familiar. And x2, 6 take away 2, which if we scooch up here, we get 0 in the top and 4 in the bottom. Interesting. We still get 0. So what is our conclusion? Right now, if you notice, the numerator was always 0. And it made sense because the y values are always what? 4. The y values, no matter what, on this line are 4. So if I do 4 take away 4 all the time, we're always going to get a slope of 0 for our horizontal lines. Now, that becomes interesting because we have the equation y equals mx plus b, correct? And as we learned in the last video, if we put m at 0, because now we have a value for it, well, it doesn't matter what x is because 0 times anything is 0. So this actually goes away and we just get y is equal to b. This will always be your horizontal line equation. And b basically stands for your y-intercept. Look at that. It's 4. So in this case, y equals 4 is going to be the equation to this line. And I like to think of this as, what axes does it pass through? Well, it passes through the y-axis. And at what number? 4. So that's how I create my equations for horizontal lines. It hits the y-axis at 4. So y equals 4. Okay, let's scroll down and now venture into vertical lines. So we are going to do the exact same thing. Pick 2 points. I'm going to pick, it doesn't really matter, -8 and what is this? -8 and -5. We're sitting at 5 here for the y, for the x. So 5, -5 is the first point. And then 5, -8 is here. Now I know your math gut is telling you something. It's picking up on something. Hold on to that thought and let's see if it's going to come to fruition. So our slope formula is m equals y2 take away y1 all over x2 take away x1. So what should we call this? x1, y1? Sure, I'll do what you want. And x2, y2? No problem. So we're going to get -8 take away -5. All divided by x2, which is 5, take away 5. Look at that. This time we have, I'm going to try and squish it in here, -13 over 0. The 0 is sitting on the bottom. Do you think this is always going to happen? Let's pick another 2 points. What should we do here? 6 and 1. So here the points are going to be 5 and 1 and 5 and 6. Notice the 5s and 5s are still there. So slope M is going to equal y2 take away y1. And I know you're copying the equation down. X2 take away x1 because you're being super thorough and that's going to show up in how you perform on a test. Then we're going to go, I'm going to make this my 2. So at 6 take away 1. So I'm going to go like this. 6 take away 1 all over 5 take away 5. And again, that's going to give us 5 over 0. So anytime you're dealing with a vertical line, the denominator is going to be equal to 0. So here your x values will always subtract to 0. Now, when that happens, we don't say they have a slope of 0. What we say is these vertical lines have undefined slopes. Undefined slopes. And for this, you're going to see x equals a as the general equation because it's passing through the x-axis, right? This line is crossing through the x-axis. And where is it crossing through? At 5. So for this line, we get an equation x equals 5. And there you have it. So now you have the basics down on slope of a line for vertical lines, horizontal lines, and from the previous video, diagonal line. If you can mathmerize a little bit, so basically memorize a little bit, you're going to have this down no problem. Let me know if you have any slope questions down below in the comments, and I hope to see you in the next video.